There were also multiple body spirits, numerous as atoms in a Buddha world, known as flower topknot adornment, light illuminating all directions, oceanic sound conquering, pure flower adorned topknot, infinite dignified postures, array of supreme light, fragrant clouds of pure light, guardian sustainer, ubiquitous shepherd, immutable light. These were the leaders. There were as many as there are atoms in a Buddha world. They had all in the past fulfilled great vows and had provided for and served all Buddhas. Also there were footstep-following spirits, numerous as atoms in a Buddha world. Their leaders were known as Precious Symbol, Lotus Light, Topknot of Pure Flowers, embodying all beautiful visions, exquisite gem-star banner, joyfully uttering sublime sounds, sandalwood tree light, lotus luminosity, subtle light, collection of fine flowers, and so on. Over innumerable past ages they had all associated with Buddhas, always following them. There were also sanctuary spirits, as numerous as atoms in a Buddha world. Their leaders were known as Banner of Pure Adornments, Polar Mountain Jewel Light, Sign of the Thunder Banner, Wonderful Eyes Raining Flowers, Garland Light Topknot, Raining Jewel Arrays, Courageous Fragrant Eye, Diamond-Colored Cloud, Lotus Light, Radiance of Ineffable Light, and so on. All of them had in the past met innumerable Buddhas, perfected their willpower, and brought forth extensive offerings. There were also city spirits, as numerous as atoms in a Buddha world. Their leaders were known as Jewel Peak Radiance, Beautifully Adorned Palace, Jewel of Pure Joy, Sorrowless Purity, Flower Lamp Flame Eyes, Flame Banner Clearly Showing, Light of Virtue, Pure Light, Fragrant Topknot Adornment, Beautiful Jewel Light, and so on. All of them had, over innumerable inconceivable eons, adorned the mansions in which the Buddha stayed. There were also earth spirits, as numerous as atomic particles in the Buddha world. Their leaders were known as Pure Flower of Universal Virtue, Adornment of Stable Blessings, Beautiful Flower Adorned Tree, Universal Distributor of Treasures, Pure Eye Observing the Season, Beautiful Supreme Eye, Fragrant Hair Emitting Light, Pleasing Sound, Curl Topknot of Beautiful Flowers, Diamond Adorned Body, and so on. They had all in the past made profound grave vows, vowing to always associate with the Buddhas and cultivate the same virtuous acts. There were also innumerable mountain spirits, led by such as Jewel Peak, Blooming Flower, Flower Forest, Beautiful Topknot, Lofty Banner shining everywhere, undefiled Jewel Topknot, Light illumining all directions, Light of great power, Awesome Light conquering all, Light order, subtle intensity, Universal Eye clearly seeing, Adamantine Eye of mystery. They had all attained pure eyes in regarding all things. There were also an inconceivable number of forest spirits, led by such spirits as spreading flowers like clouds, outstanding trunk unfolding light, bearing branches emitting radiance, auspicious pure leaves, draped flame treasury, pure light, pleasant thunder, light and fragrance all pervading, subtle light shining far, flowers and fruits savoring of light, and so on. They all had infinite pleasing glows. There were also innumerable herb spirits, led by such as auspicious sandalwood forest, pure light, universal renown, radiant pores, universal purifier, roarer, banner of light outshining the sun, seeing in all directions, energy augmenting clear eyes, and so on. Their natures were all free from defilement, and they helped beings with kindness and compassion. There were also innumerable crop spirits, led by such spirits as gentle superb flavor, pure light of seasonal flowers, physical strength, courage and health, increasing vitality, everywhere producing roots and fruits, wonderfully adorned circular topknot, moistening pure flowers, developing wonderful fragrance, liked by all who see, undefiled pure light. All of them had attained perfection of great joyfulness. There were also innumerable river spirits, led by such spirits as everywhere producing sweet currents, universally purified springs and streams, dust-free pure eye, roaring everywhere, rescuing sentient beings, heedless pure light, universally causing joy, supreme banner of extensive virtue, light shining on all worlds, light of oceanic virtues, all of them diligently concentrating on benefiting living beings. There were also innumerable ocean spirits, led by such spirits as producing jewel light, diamond banner, undefiled, palaces in all waters, auspicious jewel moon, beautiful flower dragon topknot, everywhere holding flavor of light, jewel flame, flower light, beautiful diamond topknot, thunder of the ocean tide. They had all filled their bodies with great ocean of virtues of the Buddhas. There were also innumerable water spirits, led by such spirits as ubiquitous cloud banner, cloud-like sound of the ocean tide, beautiful round topknot, whirlpool of skills, store of undefiled fragrance, virtue bridge light sound, freedom of contentment, good sound of pure joy, everywhere manifesting awesome light, roaring sound filling the sea. They always diligently strive to rescue and protect all beings. There were also countless fire spirits, led by such spirits, the repository of flames of universal light, banner of universal assembly of light, great light shining everywhere, palace of wonders, inexhaustible light topknot, eyes of various flames, palaces in all directions like polar mountains, sovereign of awesome light, light destroying the darkness, thunder and lightning. All of them manifested various kinds of light, causing the irritations of sentient beings to vanish. There were also innumerable wind spirits, led by such spirits as unimpeded light, everywhere manifesting courageous action, wind striking cloud banner, rays of light, power able to dry up water, great voice howling everywhere, tree branch hanging topknot, unimpeded wherever it goes, various mansions, great light shining everywhere. They all work to dispel the mentality of conceit. There were also innumerable space spirits, led by such spirits as pure light shining all around, traveling everywhere deeply and extensively, producing auspicious wind, abiding securely beyond obstruction, broad steps and beautiful topknot, unhindered light flames, unobstructed conquering power, spotless light, deep and far-reaching sublime sound, all-pervading light. Their minds were free from defilement, broad, vast, clear, and pure. There were also innumerable direction spirits, led by such spirits as dwelling everywhere, ubiquitous light, ray of light beings, traveling everywhere, unhindered, forever-ending confusion, roaming everywhere in pure space, great sound of cloud banners, topknot and eyes undisturbed, universally observing the doings of the world, traveling everywhere watching. They were able, by means of their skills, to emanate light in all directions, always illuminating the 10 directions continuously without interruption. There were also innumerable night spirits, led by such spirits as pure light of universal virtue, observing the world with joyful eyes, everywhere manifesting auspicious omens, everywhere causing tree and flowers to bloom, all senses always joyful, producing pure bounty. They all practice diligently, taking delight in the truth. There were also innumerable day spirits, led by such as displaying palaces, bringing forth the fragrance of wisdom, delighting in superb adornments, exquisite light of fragrant flowers, collecting all wonderful herbs, liking to make joyful eyes, appearing in all places, light of great compassion, radiance of goodness, garlands of beautiful flowers. All had certain faith in the sublime truth and always strive diligently in concert to adorn the palace. There were also innumerable Titan kings, led by such as Rahula, Vimachita, skillful magical arts, great following, great strength, universal shining, wonderful adornment of firm action, vast causal wisdom, manifesting superior qualities, sublime voice. They had all worked energetically to conquer pride and other afflictions. There were also an inconceivable number of Kanara kings, led by such as heaven of light of refined intellect, exquisite flower banner, various adornments, pleasing sound, jewels tree light, light to the beholder, adornment of supreme light, delicate flower banner, earth-shaking power, conquering evil beings. They all made diligent efforts, contemplating all things, their minds always blissful, roaming freely. There were also innumerable Garuda kings, led by such as power of great swiftness, unbreakable jewel top-knot, pure speed, non-regressing mind, sustaining power in the ocean, steady pure light, artistically decorated crown top-knot, immediately manifestation everywhere, surveying the ocean, universal sound and broad eyes. It already perfected the power of great skill and expedient methods of liberation, and were able to rescue all beings. There were also innumerable Mahagara kings, led by such as beneficent wisdom, pure dignified sound, adornment of supreme wisdom, Lord of sublime eyes, lamp-like banner, refuge of the masses, supreme light banner, lion guts, sound adorned by myriad subtleties, stable as a polar mountain, delightful light. They all diligently cultivated great and extensive skills and method to cause sentient being to forever tear apart the net of ignorance. There were also innumerable Yaksha kings, led by such as Vaishravana, independent sound, solemn weapon bearer, great wisdom, Lord of flaming eyes, adamantine eye, arm of courage and strength, bravely resisting general, rich in material goods, power to smash high mountains. They all strive to guard and protect all living beings. There were also innumerable great Naga kings, led by such as Virupaksha Chakra, subtle banner of cloud sounds, flaming mouth ocean light, ubiquitous high cloud banner, unbounded steps, pure form, great sound traveling everywhere, no heat or torment. They all worked hard making clouds and spreading rain to cause the heat and afflictions of all beings to vanish. There were also innumerable Kumbhanda kings, led by such as increased Dragon Lord, banner of adornments of goodness, universal beneficial action, most fearsome, handsome with beautiful eyes, high-peaked intellect, brave and strong arms, boundless pure flower eyes, enormous godlike face with Titan's eyes. They all diligently practiced and studied the teachings that freedom from impediment and emitted great light. There were also innumerable Gandharva kings, led by such as sustaining the nation, tree light, clear eyes, flower crown, universal sound, joyously moving beautiful eyes, wondrous sound lion banner, diamond tree flower banner, joyfully causing adornments to appear everywhere. They had all deep faith and appreciation of the great teaching, rejoiced in it and respected it, and diligently practiced it tirelessly. There were also innumerable moon deities, led by such as Moon Godling, Flower King Top-Knot Halo, myriad sublime pure lights, pacifying the hearts of the world, luminosity of Tree King eyes, manifesting pure light, immutable light traveling everywhere, sovereign monarch of constellations, moon of pure awareness, great majestic light, all strive to bring to light the mind jewel of living beings. There were also innumerable sun deities, led by such as Sun Godling, eyes of flaming light, awesome light, undefiled jewel rays, non-regressing courage, light of beautiful flower garlands, supreme banner light, universal light of a jewel top-knot, eyes of light. All of them diligently learned and practiced to benefit living beings and increase their roots of goodness. There were also innumerable kings of the 33 heavens, led by such as Chakra Indra, everywhere intoning fulsome sound, kind eyes jewel top-knot, jewel light of banner fame, joy-producing top-knot, admirable right mindfulness, supreme sound of the polar mountain, perfect mindfulness, pleasing flower light, eye of the sun of knowledge, independent light able to enlighten. All of them strive to bring forth great works in all worlds. There were also innumerable kings of the Suyama heavens, led by such as timely portion, delightful light, banner of inexhaustible wisdom and virtues, skilled in miraculous displays, great light of memory power, inconceivable wisdom, circular navel, light flames, illumination, greatly famed for universal observation. All of them diligently cultivated great roots of goodness, and their minds were always joyful and content. There were also inconceivable number of kings of the Tushita heavens, led by such as contented, ocean of bliss top-knot, supreme virtue banner, still and silent light, pleasing beautiful eyes, clear moon on a jeweled peak, supreme courage and strength, subtle diamond light, constellation array banner, pleasing adornments. All of them diligently kept in mind the names and epithets of all the Buddhas. There were also innumerable kings of the heavens of enjoyment of emanations, led by such as skillful transformation and emanation, light of silent sound, light of the power of transformation and emanation, master of adornment, light of mindfulness, cloud sound, supreme light of myriad subtleties, exquisite top-knot light, perfect joy and intellect, flower light top-knot, and seeing in all directions. All of them work diligently to tame living beings and enable them to attain liberation. There were also countless kings in the heavens of free enjoyment of others' emanations, led by such as sovereign freedom, sublime my Lord, beautiful crown banner, courageous intelligence, wonderful sound phrases, subtle light banner, gate of the realm of peace, array of splendid disc banner, flower grove, independent intellect, and light of beautiful adornments of the power of Indra. All of them diligently practiced and studied the vast and great teaching of independent skill and means of liberation. There were also uncountable kings of the great Brahma heavens, led by such as Shikhin, light of wisdom, radiance of beneficent wisdom, sound of ubiquitous clouds, independent observer of the sounds of speech of the worlds, eyes of still light, all-pervading light, sound of magical displays, eyes of shining light, and pleasing ocean sound. All of them had great compassion and took pity on living beings, unfolding light that illuminated everywhere. They caused them to be joyful and blissful. There were also innumerable kings of the heavens in which light is used for sound, led by pleasing light, pure subtle light, sound of freedom, supreme awareness and knowledge, delightful pure subtle sound, sound of skillful meditation, universal sound illumining everywhere, most profound light sound, pure name light, and supreme pure light. All of them dwelt in the unhindered state of great peace, tranquility, joy, and bliss. There were also innumerable kings in the heavens of universal purity, led by such as pure reputation, supreme vision, virtue of tranquility, sound of the polar mountain, eye of pure mindfulness, light flame sovereign, joy or meditation on the truth in creating demonstrations, banner of miraculous displays, and exquisite array of consolation sounds, were all already abiding securely in the great teaching, and worked diligently to benefit all worlds. There were also innumerable kings of the heavens of vast results, led by such as banner of the delightful light of truth, ocean of pure adornments, light of supreme wisdom, independent wisdom banner, delight in tranquility, eye of universal knowledge, delight in use of intellect, light of intellect sown with virtue, undefiled tranquil light, and vast pure light. They all dwelt at peace in the palace of tranquility. There are also countless kings of the heavens of great freedom, led by such as sea of subtle flames, light of the beam of freedom, eye of pure virtues, enjoyable great intelligence, freedom of immutable light, eye of sublime adornments, light of skillful meditation, delightful great knowledge, universal sound array banner, and light of fame of extreme exertion. All of them diligently contemplated the truth of formlessness, and their actions were all equanimous and impartial.